Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the very first LC Coaches Corner. I'm Brad Wilburn here with Wildcats Sports. Glad to be joined this week by our very own head coach of the football team, Coach Dennis Dunn. And we're going to spend the next few minutes here talking about a little bit about Huntingdon, how that game went, how it unfolded, the little disappointment there at the end, and then move on into this week as we take on Texas College over for our first road trip of the season. Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us today. So glad to have you here, and glad to be able to spend a few minutes talking about what was a very, very exciting football game last Saturday.
Yeah, Brad, what a exciting finish throughout the contest. I thought our young men really battled against an explosive offensive football team. As most people are aware, Huntingdon was coming off a 10-2 season, got beat in the second round of the playoffs by a powerful Mary Hardin-Baylor team who they played extremely well, returned 18 starters off that team. And, you know, our guys took a nationally ranked team to the wire and had an opportunity to win at the end. And the team was extremely disappointed that they didn't win. So this is a different team, a different mindset in 2016, and with the maturity of our guys, they will take this learning experience and I think build upon it. We're going to see some special things happen as we move forward in 2016.
Yeah, you know, one of the biggest things when you look at, if you just look at the stats, the first thing that the casual fan or even the you know, the hardcore fan is going to look at first is 5 turnovers. I mean, that had to be your biggest talking point after the game for the team.
Yeah, the turnovers were the difference. Yeah. I mean, without the turnovers, Easton Malonzo probably has the best game of his life, you know, with 5 touchdown passes and almost 500 yards passing. Aaron Cooksey rushes for almost 190, his best game of his career, 2 touchdowns. So both guys who we fully expect to have those kinds of seasons, you know, it boiled down to, in the end, the turnovers. As we met as a staff and discussed the game, you know, defensively, you know, you give up 52 points, you think, wow, our defense is really, I thought our defense did some really good things. We stopped, for the most part, what they do best, and then they attacked our strength and beat us at our corners, or the strength of our team, our defense. We felt like coming in, turned 2 great corners in LaCory Demise and Willie Smith, and they beat us on 3 deep balls that ultimately were the difference defensively, and we were in good position. We just didn't make the play, and those are the things that against great teams you're going to have to make plays, and when you're in position you got to make plays, and you know, that's why it's a game of inches, and we were literally inches away from an upset in the first game. Yeah,
and you know what did you tell the team after the game? I mean, being that close, being, you know, 3 points away from an upset, I guess most people would say on paper would be an upset. I mean, they had to feel dejected. So what did you tell them after the game?
Obviously, we're all disappointed. It was a game we went into fully expecting to win, and you know, I told the team Saturday afternoon, we'll take 24 hours, digest it, watch the film, learn, and then we put it behind us, and that's what we've done. We put the game behind us, and now we've moved on toward game 2, and that's a very talented NAIA team in Texas College. But when you look back on the Huntingdon game, it'll be a game that I think 2016 can really build upon as a season, because we did some really good things. I thought the special teams was outstanding for the most part. Yeah. Charles Furman had just an incredible game kicking. Our punter, who was a new punter, first-year punter for us, really did an outstanding job. Everything was, you know, we were in many ways mid-season form with our special teams. We had 3 offsides penalties on kickoff. Those are things we've got to get straight. But for the most part, I really felt like our guys laid it on the line. And, you know, again, you look back, it was turnovers that were the difference, and
So
we got to clean that up.
So really just kind of just tighten up the screws a little bit. And
Yeah, I think so. We would love. I think everybody left that game hungry enough to hopefully in the first round of the playoffs we play those guys again.
All right, Coach. Well, how about we take a look at a few clips from the game? I picked out a few of the big plays, highlights, so to speak. So let's take a look at the first one, and then we'll get your thoughts afterwards. Big touchdown pass from Easton to Shed Davis there. I think it was third or fourth quarter. So let's take a look at that clip real quick.
Both sides for Easton Melanson.
Yeah, we're here. We're in our base formation. It's what we call doubles, and this is a route that we felt would be good against them all week because of their two safeties. They were leaving the middle of the field open, so it's what we call a rub route, or for us, a terminology is a slug route. Yeah. And we had it open all game, and really Ben, our offensive coordinator, Coach McLaughlin, kept saying, "Are we going to the well too much? I mean, is it going to be?" And they just left it open, and well, in the end, it may have, because we tried to run it again at the end of that, we threw a pick, so maybe we did go to the well one too many times, but it was just a great play for us. Yeah. All game long.
Talk about this next couple of plays here. You mentioned going over the middle. First, we're going to see Aaron, who you mentioned had a huge game, one of his best of his career as a senior, big touchdown run, and then a couple of clips of, like you said, on that last drive going over the middle.
Yeah, here's Aaron running what we call a gap play, a power play to the left, and big strong back that Cooksey is. He really he punished some defenders the other day. He ran over a couple of linebackers. So anytime we can get Aaron Cooksey in the open field, it's going to be a big play. But Aaron has made himself an outstanding running back. He came from a high school that was a traditional downhill kind of option team, and we're a zone running team, zone and power, and really Aaron studied the game, got with the offensive line coach, and really saw where the voids were going to be up front in our blocking schemes, and just so proud of the back that he's become, and to be honest with you, he's made himself a Sunday prospect. I mean, if that was interesting enough, but from where he came from, if you'd have told me 4 years ago Aaron Cooksey would have a chance to play on Sunday, I don't know if I would have believed you, but he really has, and he ran a 4.52 for the Pro Scouts back in April, and is just started off a tremendous senior year, and we just expect that the best will be yet to come for Aaron Cooksey this season.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a couple clips of that last drive there where it seemed like you had the ball, you were driving to get, I think this was the touchdown drive that pulled within 3, 2 nice passes over the middle, one to Lawrence Williams and another to Shed back-to-back. Let's take a look at those clips.
Yeah, this is a third quarter drive, and again, here we go. Ball is going to the middle of the field. Same play as we showed a while ago, the slug play, the rub route where Shed got him for a touchdown. Here he is again, same exact play over the middle. It was just leaving the middle wide open, and again, that was a drive that we were moving toward the end zone to pull within 3, and then the last drive we went back and tried to take advantage of the middle again, and Easton was just a little bit early. Mm-hmm. The void was there, and he threw the ball just a count early. If he would have waited just a second, he had plenty of protection. The pocket was nice, and we would have been sitting here rejoicing probably with a victory, but. That position, people think it's real easy. The Sunday morning quarterbacks can get there and talk about what Easton should have done. But I'm telling you, you're having to make those split-second decisions with live bullets being fired all around you. So just so proud of their performance. And I promise, our fans are going to be really pleased as we move into this season to see our guys play. It's going to be a great season. We're just excited about the focus and how the the game really has propelled our focus this week in practice.
And then our last clip here, let's talk about probably one of the biggest plays of the game. You talked about special teams earlier, how pleased you were with that, recovering the onside kick. While we watch the clip, talk me through the thought process here, because you're at the point, you're down by 3. You have 3 timeouts left as well. We had some discussion in the press box. Is he going to kick it deep? Is he going to go for the onside kick? You end up going for the onside. You get a fortunate bounce off the defender, and then was it DeMatti, I think, came up and with the big recovery. So let's take a look at the clip and talk me through that process of deciding to go for onside.
The onside kick, Brad, was something. There was like a minute 30 something left in the game, and you know they if we kick it deep, they're going to kneel on it and they could, you know, potentially, even with 3 timeouts, run it down to where there was not enough time for us to manufacture a drive. So I don't think there was any doubt that we were gonna attempt the onside kick. We were fortunate enough. We got a good kick, got the onside kick, and really I think everybody in the stands felt like that fate was with us and that we were going to have an opportunity to win it. We did, and there, you know, the unfortunate interception, which, you know, big games you can't have. You gotta learn from this, and there'll be with our schedule, there'll be two or three other games that will have this kind of possibility. So great teams find a way to overcome those, and again, the mistakes are the things that we've got to clean up.
And last little bit about this game. During the game, like we've already talked about, Easton had a huge performance, if not for the interceptions, maybe his best of his career. But even so, with that, he became the second-ranked quarterback in school history in terms of passing yards and completion. So now, with that, you have the number 1 and number 2 ranked quarterbacks in school history on your sideline at the same time, with Easton Malonsaw and Ben McLaughlin. So that's a lot of firepower on the sideline.
That's got to make a guy feel pretty confident in what you can do offensively, and credit Ben for how far. I mean, Ben was. I mean, his first performance as offensive coordinator. You know, coming back home, I mean, we have one of the best games maybe ever in the history with offensive output, 654 yards of offense. We're talking about Star Wars numbers, you know, over 1,300 yards of offense in a game. I mean, really. But Ben was just as dejected as all of us. I should have called this play. I should have, you know. Why did I go to the well one too many? You know, those were his questions after the game. But you're right too. And I told Easton when he was a freshman, I said, there's a guy that you're going to be chasing, that you'll have an opportunity to be close to some records here, and for him to move into second place, I know is thrilling for him. But more than that, Easton wants to win games, and Easton's a winner and just a tremendously talented soldier. I mean, the guy was hurt, played most of the fourth quarter, part of the third, hurt. I mean, he bruised his collarbone, and really just had a valiant effort being hurt. But that's what he's known for and what he's become here at Louisiana College. For him to get 12,000 yards to break the record, though, that's gonna be a monumental task. But Ben is saying, please let him break it, because that means he's going to throw for about 5,000 more yards this season. But anyway, Aaron may have some things to say about that, because Aaron's going to say, no, give me the ball. I want to run it.
Yeah, he's got a chance to, with a good year, to move into second place in the rushing category. So I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit about that as the season progresses. I think he's third now after that game. But let's talk a little bit now about upcoming week. You guys on the road for the first time this year. Nothing unfamiliar. Seven road games last year. But headed over to Tyler, Texas to take on Texas College, like you mentioned, NAIA school. And if I'm not mistaken, first meeting ever between the two schools, is that right?
Correct. We did scrimmage Texas College last year in August. And here's what we know about Texas College. They're going to be very talented. They play a really tough schedule because they have a difficulty finding games. So they've played a lot of Division II, a lot of SWAC schools through the years. So sometimes their record is a little bit deceiving because of their opposition and who they played. But we expect a very, very talented team that's loaded with athletes on both sides of the ball. And, you know, we will just have to play fundamental, technique sound football. I know that sounds cliche, but against teams with this kind of talent, that's what you have to do in order to win the football game. And it's all about blocking and tackling and you know, taking care of the football. And that's what we're going to have to do. I think this team's mature. I think it'll travel well. Defensively, again, I think we're better. I really do, based on what I saw Saturday. This is a football team that has matured on that side of the ball as well. I'm proud of Coach Charles and the defensive staff and how they're preparing our guys. And, you know, we had some close calls injury-wise. Orel Aday has a broken hand. You know, probably, you know, arguably the best defender we have talent-wise. But, you know, he's going to be able to play. They're going to be able to soft cast it. It's not a break that's going to require surgery. So we were fortunate there. We need to get some guys well. You know, Easton has not been able to practice yet this week. Orange kind of limped through practice with a foot. But overall, injury-wise, I think we're going to be in good shape. Questionable will be our defensive end, Zimmer, who has a knee issue, be getting an MRI. But Brandon's done you know, he's had a valiant career to this point. We really need him as well. But you know, we're thin in the defensive line anyway, so to lose anybody is trouble. But we're still praying for him and believing that he's going to be in good shape going forward. So all in all, I think an outstanding effort first week. Typical war where you do have some casualties and some bumps and bruises, but we'll be ready to play on Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it earlier, what you said after the game to the guys, you know, about putting you know, take the 24 hours and then move on. You know, going from one of the more difficult, maybe on paper, games of the season against Huntingdon to maybe one that's maybe on paper at least not as, you would say, not as difficult. Is there any thoughts, any worries about a
Brad,
letdown?
You're talking to a coach here. Every week is difficult.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And we don't approach any opponent with anything other than respect. And like I said from the outset, this is when you look at what they look like on film and when you look at them on the hoof, as we as coaches say, they are beautiful athletes. And when you line up and play this type of team with this many athletes, you can expect anything. And we're expecting it to be a battle. And again, we need to be sound. We need to be disciplined. And their coach is just in his second year, Coach Ruffin. He's had Division I experience. He's a guy that's doing a good job recruiting. So this is a different team than we even scrimmaged last year. A lot of new faces in their lineup. So we're expecting this to be as hard a fought game as any, and it's the next game, and so it's the most important.
Right.
We don't look back and we don't look ahead. This is the one that's the most important.
So if you feel like you get 600 yards again, you're going to be pretty good, right? Feel pretty good about your chances.
We're just going to run. We're going to take it one play at a time and see how we do. And I think again, Brad, this is a mature football team. And we grew up last year. We got a lot of guys back that that went through a very difficult season, very trying season, very tough road games, and the learning experience from that is we don't take anything for granted. And that's how they approached the off season. It was a blue collar approach to the off season, It's been a blue-collar approach in fall camp, and we don't take any snap for granted. You know, these guys know the next snap could be their last snap, so they've been practicing with you know, just a focus that's uncanny, and it's I've been doing this 32 years, and I've been around a lot of teams that have chemistry that are successful. I've been around teams that the chemistry's not real good, and it manifests into a season that is not real conducive to winning. I like the chemistry of this team. I like how this team is gelling. I like the leadership of this team, and I think this community, the LC community, is going to be very proud before this season's over with to be represented by this group of young men.
Yep. I mean, having just been around them a little bit, I do get that sense as well. I mean, I know I'm still kind of new here, but getting to go on the scrimmage and all that, I do feel the same way, that they do have a close-knit type of relationship amongst all the different you know, parts of the team. So
this is a hungry team, Brad, and they were very disciplined. It was not a moral victory on Saturday. They were deeply hurt, deeply dissatisfied that we didn't get the W.
All right, folks. Well, thanks so much for watching again. Thank you, Coach Dunn. We're looking forward to not only an exciting game this week, but an exciting rest of the season as we come back home the next week against Texas Lutheran, another very good opponent, another home game, a night game, as a matter of fact. So that'll be a lot of fun. So thanks again, Coach. Thanks for watching. This has been the LC Coaches Corner with head coach Dennis Dunn. I'm Brad Wilburn with Wildcats Media Sports. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.